aiming for the single leg, unless you know you're competing in wrestling actively or you grew up wrestling, it can be hard to train to have like a really effective just blast double from far away. So with the gi, why not use it and you know get closer, win the grip battles a little bit first, and then if you're going to shoot, it can be hard to do so in jiu-jitsu because people go very far back with their hips, which we talked about. So I really like to either, if we're here and we're looking at, you know, like we're talking about redirecting the hands, if you're going to go straight to double leg, but today we're going to focus on getting the single. So the single, if somebody's relatively upright, is not too challenging, at least to enter. Because most people are going to be standing, you know, pretty dominant, generally the right foot forward. And as long as I can strip this grip off, I can usually enter a single relatively safely, because when I circle here, I'm already inside. There's of course a lot of things that the battle's gonna keep going there, whereas if I get in on a double, often I'm either, he sprawls and then he's slightly advantageous depending on how good my chain attack is, or I just got it initially, right? As soon as I get in. The single leg, there's a little bit more scrambling or like jockeying for control that happens. So if Phil was entering on here, let's say you pick my single leg up here, we talked before about how we can do the head popping up, sumigeshi, and the kimura stuff, sumigeshi. But early on, if he's got his head on the inside here, we don't want to let him just drive us around and hop us around, because if I'm like stumbling around, I can't attack. But if I can get here, and I can actually get a hold of him, and I can stomp through and get my foot on the ground, this is a great position to attack them, because look, I'm already with hip in, right? And then of course from here, then we can do our turning throws. And we have such a nice hip position that's a great option, it's a great alternative. So we have to always be aware of that. If somebody's upright and they have good, strong posture, picking up the leg might be relatively easy, but they might have counters ready. Because if they're fighting like this, often they're going to invade it. They might like counter wrestling, they might have a judo background. So single leg, what we want to do is keep them moving and keep them off balance, and we want to have attacks ready to go. So when we're entering the single leg, if he's standing just right foot forward, even if we're not attached, if I'm right foot forward, it's very simple. If we're just keeping like bare bones fundamentals, I need to basically do a semicircle. So I need to do this. Right? That's the easiest path if we're both right foot forward. If we're opposite stance, it can be even easier, because if I'm left like I am and he's here, all I really need to do is make sure this isn't stopping me. And if I can move this, or even just for a second redirect and strip grip, I just have to get here. Okay. So opposite stance, straight in. Same stance, one circle. Okay, very simple.